What's up guys, it's Lauren. Thanks for tuning in into this week's video. This week I'm going to be showing you how I created this beautiful pastel tone against her blonde using Pulpriot. And honestly, this look is really great for clients who kind of want to give a taste and dip their toes into creative color. It's perfect for clients who are not super committed to creative color as well, because pastel tones do fade pretty quick. And if you're someone who is wanting something that will last a little bit longer, I would highly recommend making these tones a little bit deeper. But this is perfect because this is going to fade right back to her icy blonde. So this is my client's before. I haven't seen her probably in about 3 months there. So this is with the toner totally faded out. She maintains her blonde with Barcelona purple shampoo at home. But today we're going to highlight her roots and then apply some creative color on the mids and ends there. This is her first time doing any type of fun colors, so this is why we're just doing it on the end, so she can just kind of get a taste and feel of what it's like to have creative color. So with her highlights, I have a specific way that I section her hair and do her highlights, so it makes it easier for me to pick up each dark strand that I had left out last time. This way it keeps her blonde on the mids and ends pretty solid, and I'm able to highlight without overlapping onto pieces that are already blonde. So this is really crucial for me whenever I do blondes or any type of blonding, because I want to make sure that the color is as even as possible and that there's no weird dark spots in the mids and ends. For my client, her highlight pattern is pretty much these little baby weaves back to back all over throughout her head, and then just right at the hairline I do about 4 slices back to back as well, with no space in between, because she likes to be as blonde as possible without having to be a bleach in tone. And for the lightener formula, I do start with 6 fall and bump all the way up to 20 as I get towards the top of her head. And here you can see I even pick out her previous blonde pieces to make sure that I don't overlap onto previously highlighted hair. So for her pastel tones, I'm going to be using the Pulpriot Sammys, and I'm going to be using these colors straight because I feel like they create the perfect pastel tones. So the blue is powder, the pink is blush, and the light purple is lilac. So here you can see I lifted my client's hair to about a level 10 to match her mids and ends. And since we're doing pastel tones, it works best on level 10 hair as well, so that you get good longevity and tone. So once the blonde was done lightening, I went ahead and mixed up some liquid demi toner to tone out the blonde. And for her formula, I used from the liquid demi lime 91, 92, and clear. And there you can see I sectioned out the hairline first and applied on the root in the back area as a whole, just kind of squirted it and made sure to blend and mush it in. And then I went ahead and squirted some at the hairline, at the root, and then applied on the mids and ends last. After she was done toning, I took her back to my station and then blow dried her mids and ends to apply the semis. For the color application, I took horizontal 1.5-inch sections and just alternated the pink, purple, and blue. And then once I was done applying the colors, I let this sit for about 25 minutes before I rinsed it. Whenever you're rinsing out the Pulpriot semis, it is best to rinse with ice cold water to prevent any bleeding. And here is my client's after. There you can see how beautiful blush, powder, and lilac create such a beautiful pastel tone. I feel like these are the perfect shade of pastel, pink, purple, and blue. Like, they're not too dark nor too light for this type of look that we're going for. I feel like this is the perfect shade to where it could last her a few washes and still look good. And here's a close-up. You can see the placement. Since I took horizontal sections with the color, you see more of a blend rather than a ribbon effect with the creative tones, and that's exactly what we wanted. We wanted it to look super blended and woven in together, so as each color lays over the other, it just creates a very seamless blend amongst the 3 colors instead of ribbons. And again, this is a great technique to introduce to your client if they are wanting to try out creative color without too much commitment, because this type of tone does fade fairly quickly. But again, if you wanted something that will last a little bit longer, you can definitely deepen these tones and still do a nice creative placement like this. Also, when this color fades, it will definitely fade back to her blonde and she will be ready for her next color. Some aftercare tips to maintaining pastel colors such as these is to go home and only use a sulfate-free shampoo and conditioner such as Bangkok and Tokyo from the Pulpriot line. And then also I would recommend washing the hair in super cold water at home and probably only washing maybe once a week and using dry shampoo such as Berlin in between washes. And then once the pastel tones fully fade, the client can maintain the blonde with Barcelona purple shampoo. But that is it for this week's episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of this color and if you guys would try it or recommend it to your clients. And as always, I will talk to you guys next week in my next video.